Hey, what's up, guys? It's another day. I'm just out here taking care of business like always, trying to make sure I stay on the up and up. But just wanted to take a little bit of time off and say hello, say hi to anybody out there listening, tuning in, checking out my channel. Let y'all know that I'm always thinking about the next thing I want to discuss. I'm always thinking about what it is that is going on around me, going on maybe in the lives of people I care about, in the lives of people that I pass by or encounter in the street or in the supermarket or wherever life may take me. Um, a lot of what I want to talk about right now is leaning towards the idea of work and jobs. And the main reason why I wanted to talk about it today is because I have some family members, I have some friends that are always trying to strategize what it is that they want to plug into. And I say family members like there's a lot of them. I mean, most of them all have work already or jobs that they're already involved in. But on a personal note, I feel like a lot of us have interests that we never really get to pursue. And the main reason for that is because we're too busy pursuing the jobs or occupation that we feel is going to pay the bills or pay the expenses or pave the way for arriving at our goal. In another video, I was talking about, losses and how they randomly come up and how we can't really foresee them and really wouldn't comprehend them as such if it wasn't for the fact that we feel that detachment. We notice when something's not present anymore and we can feel a difference. The reason why I think that it's important to start to find a different avenue to pursue or a different method to plug into in life is because these occupations or these jobs that we commit to tend to take a lot of our life away from us. At least that happens to be my own personal experience. I've noticed a lot that I'm spending entirely too much time away from home, entirely too much time away from friends and family than what I ever had imagined when I decided to start my own business. In fact, what I had originally foresaw was being able to start a business that not only would be able to help transform the community, but would be a nice avenue or a nice opportunity for other people, friends, family, and acquaintances to maybe jump on board if it was something that they were interested in learning or maybe something they were interested in taking upon to do themselves as well, a small business or branch or off of something that I do. My head tends to think of a lot of ideas, and I always think about different ways I can branch out and network with other people. And I have a real soft spot and a real heart for introducing people to different methods, especially whenever they may not have considered alternative methods than what they've always been doing. But it's been about 5 years now since I went and got my DBA and started doing this independent. A lot more years actually at it, but at least that much of doing it by myself with just me and my wife. And one of the things that I noticed is that I have not given myself the same opportunities, I guess I should say, that I try to give others. Like I'm constantly making suggestions, constantly throwing ideas out there. When I hear people wind up in ruts or they're stuck or they don't know what to do next or what they want to pursue, the work isn't cutting right or the hours got cut, or something of the sort that makes a person say, hey, I think it's time to start looking elsewhere. Well, I myself encounter that periodically, and one of the kind of neat things about my job is that I tend to tell people that I always have a new boss. Every new job is a new boss. And like every employer out there, you have some really good ones, you have some really negative ones. And unfortunately, I have had a string of negative bosses when it comes to some of these homes. And some of the homes are perfect, but the people standing between them are difficult to work with. And I don't like to refer to people as the problem. I try not to play the blame game. I try to be very observant, very realistic about things that I'm doing on my own or factors that I may be playing into why something doesn't go so well or whatnot. But one of the reality is that just like with every job, just like with every occupation, whether it was a personal interest that I set out to do by myself, or whether it was actually something that I knew I was always going to keep as my job, but not really my pursuit of happiness or passion. Um, I've kind of merged the two unintentionally. And I used to always say, they always tell you that if you're doing what you love and you're getting paid for it, you're never working a day in your life. I beg to differ by now. I am doing what I love to do, and I'm enjoying it. And I don't feel all the time when I am enjoying it like it's work per se. But the times that it is burdensome, and the times that I am forced to meet unrealistic expectations, or I'm left pushed into a corner and kind of treated as a second-class human being, simply because I work with my hands, times like that really makes it feel even worse than work, even more difficult than just a job. I start to envy those who have the regular 9 to 5 that do get to go home and at least unwind and relax. And a lot of times, I'll even be in houses where these gentlemen or women of the house come home and they get to enjoy a nice solid meal with their family all together at the same table. A lot of times we have to take our food on the go, and that's for a whole nother video about the type of food that you have to take on the go. It affects your energy, it affects your body's ability to be able to cope and bounce back and handle all the stressors of the day to day. And there's a large reality to the saying, you are what you eat. I don't eat very well, I don't sleep very well because I'm in pursuit of these jobs. But it's not really the job that I'm pursuing, it's the ability to be able to make ends meet, and the ability to be able to pay my dues on the things that I know I'm responsible for, on why I pursue the jobs that I do so heavily. The problem with that is, though, is that that's not actually living. And that brings me back to the irony of, whenever you ask a person, who are you or what do you do, 9 times out of 10, the response ties somewhere along the lines of what they do as an occupation. They even call it a living. I mean, we all call it a living. But if all you do is work, and all you do is attend your job, and that's where you spend the majority of your waking hours, so much so to where you're missing interaction with friends, family, and the real world, then one could even argue that that's not a living at all. In fact, you're living just long enough to work to be able to afford the things that you need, and what you need isn't actually even meeting necessity needs, it's meeting fabricated needs that are designed to always make you feel like you constantly have to be attending these jobs to be able to pay for these things. And the sad thing about a materialistic world and a largely fabricated world in existence is that unless you take a time out long enough to be able to assess what it is that you're doing or why, it becomes very easy and commonplace to just keep going and just continue the cycle, vicious cycle at that. And waking up sun up to sundown, doing the same order of operations, and never really getting to take a step back and enjoy the fruits of your labor, or enjoy the time that you spend, or even the purpose for it. And sadly, a lot of us end up going to the grave having done nothing else with our life but pursue a day whenever we'd be able to do something with the money that we made, or maybe the business that we built, and we don't even get to live long enough to see that through. I think, this week I've had a kind of a soft spot on life and the shortness of it all. I talked about in another video how on a long enough timeline the survival rate for everyone drops to 0. I mean, that's a realistic fact. You stretch out the length of time that you're looking at a sequence, and you start to see the pattern that everything that once was eventually is not. But not is not in the sense that it's gone for good, it's just not in the visible spectrum. And that bothers me a little bit, because everything that I've tried to create since I started this company, it teeters on the lines of materialism. It's a consumer-based business. I need consumers to be able to want our services and the things that we provide, but the things that we provide are largely materialistic. So what happens when my hands start to lock up and my back continues to hurt and all these other factors play a part that let me know that my physical abilities are becoming strenuous, and as such my physical manifestations, the things that I create with my hands, are going to start to diminish. And so somewhere in there, I have to start to put a plan into effect that says, you know what, I'm going to start to create things that are a little bit more long lasting, a little bit more eternal, a little bit more essential, things that touch people in a spot or in an area that they don't ever have to worry about it disappearing or being demolished or wearing over time. Those are the kind of things that I want to sign my name behind. Those are the type of things that I want to give my warranty and my stamp of approval on and say, you know what, this is a gift, not a service. I mean, well, services too, but I'm not a job all the time. You know, I go around the community and I do these houses and everything, and I have a sense of accomplishment that I feel when I get the compliments and I get the checks and I get the referrals and the references. All those are gold, but I want to leave behind a legacy a little bit more long lasting, something that people can say, you know what, that's amazing. That was an amazing creation, or that was amazing influence, or that was an amazing gift that you gave separate and apart from yourself that I'll hold and cherish forever. And I think, you know, part of that is kind of ties in just a little bit with me making the videos. You know I haven't said anything miraculous or spectacular that's earth shattering or that may change your whole view on life altogether yet. And I say yet because I'm working on it. You know, I have a lot of ideas swimming around my head, and I like to give people the analogy because I do a little bit of poetry, a little bit of freestyle, free verse, things like that. I like to tell people, you know, some of the method that I use or I rely on to be able to pick and choose my words is that I imagine that just like frequencies, words are just kind of swimming all around us. And it takes a creator, it takes somebody with passion to be able to reach out and grab those words and string them together in a way that makes sense or in a way that flows, hence the word flow. But I want to do some more of that with a lot more stuff, with art, with music, with different various degrees of talents that I haven't really explored or broken into. And I know I'm not going to be amazing at all of them. I know I'm not going to be amazing at even many of them. But the thing is that if I was to die tomorrow, the honest truth is that I never even dabbled in some of these things to see what my potential is. And I'm a strong believer that each one of us is a manifestation of a physical potential that has actually gone forward and is existing. And as such, that means that there really is no bounds other than the ones we place on ourselves and those, of course, that coincide with the laws of physics. But there is no bounds that say this is all you're designed to do and this is all that you're going to be good at. In fact, I'm getting to an age now where there's going to be some of my abilities that are going to start to wear thin, and if I don't try to use them when I still have the ability to do it, I may end up missing that opportunity altogether. And that does make me a little bit nervous. It makes me a little bit saddened that life is so short that unless you have the urge or the wild hair to go ahead and pursue these things on the whim, there really is no order or no sequence that says, okay, you're getting this age, now's the time where you learn how to run a marathon, or now's the time where you learn how to do trapeze, acrobatic activities or whatever. You know, there isn't any of that out there that actually says, let's do this. Come on, do it before it's too late. I mean, you kind of have to have that personal desire, that personal fire that burns within you that says, I'm going to jump up and I'm going to do something new today. And I don't want to wait till a midlife crisis. I don't want to wait till I have to start checking things off a bucket list or whatever. I mean, life is short enough already. And I think that every day is a new opportunity to pursue new potentials. And I aim to try to do just that. And I'm hoping that the more I get on here, the more I drop videos, the more I speak out, the more I start to reach out and network, somewhere, some way along the line, someone is going to either be in agreement with me or at least see the same thing and be saying to themselves, you know what, I was thinking that same thing this week. I want to try something new. What do you think about this? You know, are you interested? Maybe we can do a little workshop, a little get together, maybe on the weekend, get a couple of friends all together and let's all try something new. I know I had a friend that we were interested in learning how to blow glass together, and I've seen a lot of amazing ornaments that are built with glass blowing. It's something that I would definitely like to try still. But there's a lot of stuff that I want to try, and I'm hoping that before it's too late, I do it. And I'm hoping that if you're sitting there and you're watching this video and you have any interest at all in things that you want to try your hands at, man, just do it. Just get up and try it, you know. And if there's anything that I do for my work, for my living, there's that phrase again, but that you've either heard or you've seen me do, and you're interested in learning how to do it yourself or whatever, man, reach out to me. Let me know. You know, I'll show you. I don't have no problem at all showing people how to do things with their hands that I know how to do. I'm not perfect at it. I'm not the best at everything, but at the same time, steel sharpens steel. And I believe that it's through us networking with each other, strengthening each other, encouraging each other, and illuminating each other's interests that we're going to be able to make the most powerful impact in our lives and in our community before our time comes to. So reach out there and bless somebody with your skills, and see if somebody's willing to bless you with theirs back, and learn something new every day, okay? Well, thank you for your time. Thank you for your support, and I look forward to dropping another video soon. Have a good one.